It's no secret that Scream 3 isn't the most popular of the franchise. I think that we can all agree that upon watching the movie for the very first time, we see it as pretty weak compared to the others in the franchise.
You're gonna pay for the life you stole from me, Sid. For the mother, and for the family, and for the stardom, and God damn it, everything you had that should have been mine!
God, why don't you stop your whining and get on with it? I've heard this shit before!
Stop!
From Roman's voice changer to the retcon of Billy and Stu to Courtney Cox's ridiculous bangs, it's clear why this movie didn't live up to expectations. However, there is a deleted scene from the film which provides a great explanation for the voice changer, a scene which could be key in changing people's opinion of Scream 3. Now, unfortunately, the actual scene itself has never surfaced, but there are pictures from said scene. With this new information in mind, it's time we gave the movie a second chance and reconsidered its place in the franchise. But before we get into the deleted scene, let's discuss the film's Ghostface, Roman Bridger. Roman Bridger is the half-brother to Sidney Prescott. He explains to Sidney that Maureen abandoned him and slammed the door in his face. His plan was to get revenge on Sidney for quote-unquote stealing the life that he should have had. He doesn't actually serve a big role in the movie until the end when he reveals himself to Sidney, so when he gets on with his motive, it just feels really forced. Roman was the only Ghostface in the franchise to do it alone and is also the first to wear a bulletproof vest. He even had a total of 9 kills, which is the most anyone has ever had. The Scream franchise wouldn't exist without Roman because he's the one who influenced Billy Loomis to kill Maureen Prescott.
Your boyfriend didn't like seeing his daddy in my film too much. He didn't like it at all. Once I supplied the motivation, all the kid needed was a few pointers. Have a partner to sell out in case you get caught, find someone to frame. It was like he was making a movie.
But he had no idea that him and Stu were gonna keep killing. Now, let's get into the scene. Firstly, let's go over the voice print files. Here, there are files for Cotton Weary, who was the opening kill in Scream 3, Roman Bridger, who is the Ghostface on this film and the photo, Dewey Riley, Maureen Prescott, and Sidney Prescott. Roman uses Cotton's, Dewey's, and Sidney's voices within the film to deceive his potential victims. Maureen, Sidney's mother, her voice was used to invoke an emotional response and make Sidney vulnerable. I can see why Roman decided to include his own voice here. It's most likely to exonerate himself when his plan succeeded, or possibly since Angelina Tyler, who was the actress portraying Sidney in the fictional Stab 3 Return to Woodsboro, was originally supposed to be the second killer. This is her downloading voices instead of Roman. Though Angelina met her demise at the hands of Roman, so this theory could have possibly been a part of the original script, which was scrapped. In this still, Roman is shown downloading the voice algorithms to a disc. The means by which he obtained accurate recordings of their voices is unclear, but it is possible that voice modulation technology was used, or that voice actors or sound-alikes were hired to record dialogue. If Roman used voice modulation technology, then this would allow the alteration of any individual's voice. This could be either in real time or through post-processing techniques. By using advanced algorithms, the voices of specific individuals could be accurately replicated or synthesized, enabling him to obtain voice recordings. If Roman decided to go to the voice actor sound-alike path, then he would go for a skilled actor who can successfully mimic the voices of well-known individuals like Sidney or Cotton or anyone else on the list. Not entirely sure if deepfake technology was as advanced as it is today, but Roman could have used this. Roman could have also used deepfake as a potential means of obtaining accurate voice recordings. Deepfakes involve the use of artificial intelligence algorithms to manipulate or generate realistic audio and video content. If trained, the AI model on existing recordings or samples of the targeted voices can generate new dialogue that closely resembles the voices in question. The last possibility that I can think of are pre-existing voice databases. Various companies and organizations collect large amounts of voice data for speech recognition and synthesis purposes. If he had access to such databases, he could have retrieved voice samples and used them to create the necessary voice algorithms for downloading onto the disc. Due to the quality in this picture, it's hard to tell, but this looks like a DataPlay disc. DataPlay was a storage format that revolutionized data storage and retrieval. DataPlay offered a compact and portable solution for storing various types of data, including audio files. Unfortunately, the company was unable to sustain itself and eventually shut down, making the disc relatively rare. Due to the popularity of this particular brand, it's really no surprise that Roman owns one. Based off of this, it's safe to assume that somewhere on the voice changer is a slot where you can insert the disc. I'm also assuming that it's capable of reading and processing the audio data from the dataplay disc itself. By leveraging the advanced storage capabilities of the dataplay disc, Roman easily accessed and utilized the various voice prints. This tiny disc is the main reason to why Roman was so successful with this state-of-the-art voice changer. Despite the criticism it has faced, I personally believe that the voice changer used by Roman in this movie is an impressive and innovative piece of technology. There appears to be 5 buttons surrounding one bigger button in the middle. Based off of footage from the actual movie, I'm going to assume that the 5 buttons are for changing the voice, while the one in the middle acts as some sort of mode changer or something. Here are some better looks at the voice changer.
Roman Bridger, director.
And brother.
It was a simple game, Cotton. You should have told me where Sydney was. Now, you lose.
What is this thing?
Is this what he...
Dewey's got our voices.
He's got Sid.
He's got us all. Oh my God, we're gonna find him.
While it may seem unrealistic that such an accurate voice mimicry system existed in the year 2000, it's not entirely implausible given Roman's financial resources and his experience in the film industry. Because of his financial situation, it's conceivable that he had access to advanced and expensive technology that wasn't widely available to the general public. Moreover, his experience and involvement within the film industry could have provided him with unique insights and connections that allow him to access the luxury of this kind of technology. The film industry is known for its continuous advancements in special effects and technology, often pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Therefore, I think we should consider the possibility that it was more than just a cinematic invention. And here in the final shot, we have the iconic Ghostface mask. It's still the same mask as worn in the completed movie. This scene most likely didn't end up making the cut because it would have looked too weird having Ghostface in full costume here. You'd have to reasonably justify Ghostface being in costume in a private situation. It seems like it's before any of the killings, since he's repairing what he uses from the opening. The only way to justify this is if he's doing this right before the opening attack on Cotton Weary, the equivalent of putting on your coat first and doing your last important thing before you leave to go to work. And you obviously couldn't have them not be in costume, so that the killer's identity remains a mystery until the final reveal. Or actually, this entire scene could have just been a huge spoiler for the viewer, as we would know not to trust any phone calls made during the movie. These choices ultimately aim to enhance the suspense and surprise elements of the film, keeping audiences engaged. Even Wes Craven, rest in peace, debated adding the scene into the movie, but decided against it as it just didn't seem realistic that the killer would be sitting around in full mask and costume. With all of this new information, hopefully some of you rethink your opinion of Scream 3. Let me know down below what you think of these finds, and as always, have a great day.